TGIF, the grind includes Friday, baby.
See, we already got started. You know, I ain't even had a chance to do the intro. Hey, guys, what's up? What's up? It's Troy McKnight coming at you from Dallas, Texas. Welcome to the Troy McKnight Show. It's freaking Friday. You know, if this is your first time actually tuning into one of my Facebook Lives, I like to come over here Monday through Friday. And a lot of times I come with my friends. And one of the main reasons that I like coming over here, because I truly believe that you have greatness within inside of you. I believe that you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish if you get your mind right, and also if you position yourself around the right people. I've been in the home business profession right now. This month, make 19 years. Don't count my age. I'm a young man. But anyway, I got Dr. Breakthrough on here today. I got Dr. Stan Harris, a.k.a. Breakthrough. Man, this gentleman right here, every time he come live with me, he brings so much value, so much. I mean, if you're looking for a breakthrough, if you want to lead going into the weekend with some powerful thoughts, some stuff that can change your life, man, you better take some notes, get some pads and stuff and pens and start taking notes. So Dr. Breakthrough, what are we talking about today?
Man, first of all, we talking about I appreciate you because you the brother like no other. You the master disaster, can't say it no faster. You too strong to be weak, too sweet to be sour. You can't take credit as all God's power, man. I just appreciate the way you give value, man, and creating, collaborating with people, man, and so it's just incredible. So thank you for that. But we're going to talk today, man, about and first of all, again, TGIF, thank God I'm favored. See, I mean, in the world, people that have a job, it's like, thank God it's Friday. I've been suffering all week. Man, I've been psychologically unemployable since 1990. You couldn't give me a job. Wow. Nothing against that. But when I realized profits were better than wages, I'm like, man. And when I understood what Warren Buffett said, you will work until you die unless you learn to make money in your sleep, right? And to have strategies and systems that work and make money while you're sleeping and leveraging. See, with a job, you're being leveraged by someone else in someone else's system, by the way. And a home-based business, relationship marketing and so forth, internet marketing, you get to leverage systems and leverage working, collaborating with other people and partners. And so that is so powerful. What is it? John Paul Getty said, I'd rather get 1% efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. Why? If all my income is based on me, something happens to me, like when I got COVID back in August, bam, no income. But if my income is just 1% of me and 99% of others, something happens to me, like what happened in COVID and in the hospital and so forth, guess what? 99% of my income is still potentially coming in. And so that's just powerful and that's safe and so forth. But we're going to talk today. I'm going to give them my blueprint. We're going to talk about, you're going to love this, man. And that is, how to go from being a victim to a victor. Because society, and by the way, I'm a minister of the gospel, but sad to say, most churches help people to become victims, and they pamper them and their victim mentality, right? And but God in the Word, in the Bible, really wants us to be victors, and said He's made us kings and priests, and so we're supposed to be overcomers. And so I want to talk about that because a lot of times people aren't understanding because it's right now in the hard times we're going through. You could settle back and become a victim of this situation and take it on, or you could be like you're doing, Troy, and be a victor and rise above it. Roar. Okay, but anyway.
But I mean, but Breakthrough, before you get to it, I mean, that's a fact. We got a choice. You can be a victim or you can be a victor. And for a fact, because you've been in different situations and different things, whenever you're going after something really big, you're going to have to make that choice.
Right. And, and by the way, that's one of the things that victims, the difference between a victim versus a victor. But first, let me set the stage, if that's okay. Is it okay with you if I set the stage?
Let's set the stage. Let's do it.
Okay, all right. So most people know my story, and that is, again, it's Dad left when I was 3, and at 6 years of age, got beaten, tarred, and feathered by a teenage gang, thrown out in the middle of a field, literally left to die. Been verbally abused, physically abused, been beat with a fiberglass bow and arrow set, beat with the obviously extension cord, bare body and so forth, and all over my body. But sexually abused, and I mean, matter of fact, tried to commit suicide on 2 occasions by the time I was 12 years of age. So my life was a mess. And so when you say victim, I understand being a victim. And matter of fact, I'm going to show you, I went from being a victim to then becoming a victimizer to eventually becoming a victor. See, here's what happens. See, because of all these things that happen to us, we start taking that on because, see, victims have a certain mentality. They have a certain messaging, right, that they say to themselves. Because I'm thinking, man, all this bad stuff happened to me. I must be bad. I must not be any good. I must deserve this, right? And so victims, after a while, it's like the one guy said, here this dog, he said the dog was like groaning. He said, man, what's wrong with your dog? He said he's laying on a nail. He's like, well, laying on a nail, why doesn't he get up? He said, well, it ain't quite hurting that bad. Right. So, or like the cat, the cat was used to, the rocking chair would always, hit his tail. And so after a while, it's like the cat just like, let me just lay there. So victims, sometimes because all of us will be victimized or end up being a victim of something, whether it's a crime, whether it's whatever it is. Right. But then if you take that on as your identity, right, that's what makes the difference. And have that type of mentality. But then from a victim, I end up going to be a victimizer because, see, hurt people who haven't been healed hurt people. So hurt people end up hurting people. And so I just, all that rage and all that from being victimized, like, man, I'm gonna get some, because see, victims tend to blame and so forth. And without realizing my acronym for blame, BLAME, being lazy and manifesting excuses. Ooh, let me say it again. Wow. Blame, being lazy and manifesting excuses, right? And so you go from I went from being a victim to then being a victimizer, right? And it's like, man, these people did this to me. So it's like I had a chip on my shoulder and I knock it off all the time so I could be mad. I was just full of rage, right? And then eventually got the victory over that, became a victor. And that's where you want to live, my friend, being a victor. And that's, oh my goodness, you're talking about incredible, my friend. And of course, Socrates said it best, though. One of the things he said best, and he said the greatest of all victories is the conquest of one's own self. And so I had to conquer that victim mentality. I had to conquer the victim messaging. I had to conquer, when it went into being a victimizer, right? And matter of fact, a lot of times, people that have been that they've been a victim for so long, like I said, and then they don't heal, they don't go through it, then they end up becoming victimizers if they're not careful. So, but we're gonna for just time's sake, let's talk about the difference between victims and victimizers. I mean, victims and victors, and then we'll give a few points at the end. But let me just pause, see if you got something to say before I got at least 7.
I mean, you're on point with that, Dr. Breakthrough. I mean, even me, most of them know my story. So I grew up, dyslexic, couldn't read that well. So people made fun of me. So as I got old, I was more like a victim. I used that to hold me back from going after my dreams and goals with everything I got. Then I got in this profession and got around people like yourself and a lot of great people. And I started reading books and stuff, but positioning myself around people to help me become a victor. You know what I'm saying? And even going through a journey, kind of some stuff that I'm going through now personally, I could have easily went to be a victim, a victim, a person that said, man, you know what, I'm giving up because I got so many of these challenges over here. And, so you're going to have to actually be like, make a decision on which way you want to go. So that's why when you reached out to me and said, hey, you wanted to do this, I was all gun-ho about it because I know a lot of people, especially these days in time, what's going on right here not only in the country, but in the world, they're confused. They don't want to know. They don't know if they want to go through it or they just want to be in a pity and just be sad. And I think the value, I know for a fact, the value you're going to give them today is going to give them the choice that they can go through it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're willing to go through it, it's going to be your biggest blessing. If you just want to become a victim and just stay stuck, guess what? You're losing. So I had to, even in life, from being a kid, everything that I went through, the struggles, the blessing on the other side was so freaking big because I was determined not to stay a victim. And that's what Dr. Breakthrough is going to break down to you guys today. So take it away, Dr. Breakthrough.
Man, well, take it away, bro. We could close out now. You said it.
You just getting started.
So, yeah, I'm going to give you several things. So, folks, you want to get something to write on, something to write with, because note takers are money makers. And I often say the weakest ink is stronger than the strongest memory. But you want to grab hold of these things because, again, I'm going to give you, some powerful pointers. And but here's one thing I want you to think about. Pain and adversity, it causes some men and women to break, and it's a catalyst for others to break records. Now, think about that. Let me say it again. pain and adversity, right? Hard times. And who's not, by the way, I look what somebody said, be good to everybody because everybody's having a tough time, right? Some are having a little tougher than others. Some are having a tough time in their relationship or with their wife or relationship with their son's daughter. Some are having a tough time in their finances. Some are having a tough time in their physical health. Everybody in some areas having a tough time, my friend, right? Some are having a tough time because they're so successful. They got so many haters, right? Haters, Haters, having animosity toward everyone reaching success. I mean, so what I'm saying is this. It's like one of my mentors said, if you want people to get after you, do three things. He said, have more, know more, and do more, and people get after you. He said, if you want people to leave you alone, just do three things. I said, what's that? He said, have nothing, know nothing, do nothing. They'll leave you alone.
You know what? Dr. Breakthrough, before you go through, one of my first mentors, you know what he said?
What'd he say?
Ain't no dogs barking, you ain't doing nothing. I mean, if you don't have no haters, you ain't doing nothing. That's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, matter of fact, dogs don't bark at parked cars. They only bark at moving cars, right? So, but so many times, listen, and Troy, I got to be honest, I've been there. I've been parked on the road of life. I mean, I was like, went back to trying to be a victim, right? But a true victor. And by the way, I love the way you were saying it, going from being a victim to being a victor. Technically, everybody was created by God to be a victor. We just want to help you to bring out, to pull that out of you, right? It's like that acorn. Inside the acorn is an oak tree, right? So you don't have to try to become, you don't have to, no, it's already there. But what's happened is all the lies that have suppressed how powerful you really are. And so here's what I want to tell you. First of all, victims are focused on what they've gone through or what they're going through. So let me say it again. Victims are focused on what they have gone through. Now, you and I just talked about what we're going through, but we're not focused on that. We just mention it as a frame of reference, right? To help people understand. Because if the people don't understand where I came from, then they're like, oh, well, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, right? And for a long time, Troy, I wouldn't tell people about where I came from. I was embarrassed. I was like, I don't want them to know that. Like I'm a strong dude, right? I don't want them to know my weaknesses and where, but I found out people couldn't identify with me. They were like, okay, you're Dr. Breakthrough. You're this guy, this strong guy that always has it all together. No.
Dr. Breakthrough, what they don't understand is that's when you empower people. That's when you start feeling comfortable inside of your own skin. For a long time, I wouldn't even tell people I was dyslexic. I struggled with that because I thought people was going to judge me. Then I started reading books and I found out Magic Johnson and people like that struggle with the same thing, right? It's just a learning disability. So from us sharing our story, from you sharing your story, me sharing my story, and whoever looking at this, when you share your story, you empowering somebody else that might be dealing with the same thing or might have dealt with the same thing. So
but I need people, if you're on Facebook, I need you to put on the chat if you're feeling what we're talking about. Who wants to go deeper and further in this victim versus a victor? And who wants to get some steps? Who wants to be able to discern the difference between the two so you can use, like Troy said, the power of choice, and I'm going to be talking about that in a minute, but you can use the power of choice to make a change. So if you're seeing this on Facebook, come on, give me some comments, give us some hearts, give us some likes, give us some emojis. Come on now, give us something up in here. Okay, I think I feel it, Troy, so let's go. So again, victims. Here's how you discern the difference. Victims are focused on what they have gone through, and when almost every conversation, they just talk about what they go through and what they are going through, right? And sad to say, a lot of churches do that. Their so-called prayer meetings, they just keep rehearsing the same. Like, dude, okay. Anyway, let me stop. Let me be nice. Okay, so victims are focused on what they have gone through or what they're going through, while get this now, while victors focus on where they are going to. Ooh, did you get that? See, watch this now. Here's how you did this. And again, the reason I know this stuff, because I used to live there. I was a victim, my friend. I understand this, but I love what Booker T. Washington said. And I'm going to come back and revisit, by the way, and remind me if I forget. But Booker T. Washington said it best. He said, true success should not be determined by what someone has accomplished, but rather what they had to go through to accomplish. So two people could have accomplished the same thing, but that the one person had to come through so many more hurdles and barriers than that second person that came through all the barriers and hurdles. Technically, they are more successful. And a lot of times victims don't give themselves credit for what they've gone through. So again, here's the difference. And if you want to tell whether you're succumbing to being a victim, or whether you want the blueprint and to break out, to break free, to become a victor. Victims, again, all they focus on is what they've gone through and what they're going through, but the victors focus on where they're going to. Now, that's not to say that they're not going. Matter of fact, victors are usually going through even more than victims have gone through, but you don't hear them keep rehearsing it and talking about it. See, victims rehearse it and nurse it, and then they get people to even, what's the word? Oh man. Anyway, but they kind of placate into that, and it's like, and nurse that, and it's like, yeah, it's like, man, what is that word? Is going to come to me? Enable, yeah, like people that enable them to, right? So watch this, my friend. But no, victors are constantly talking about where they're going and what they're going to accomplish and so forth. You know what? And they're so busy doing that they don't have time to think. And again, there's nothing wrong with revisiting, but let's think about a car. You can't drive looking out the rearview mirror. You're going to crash. And that's why victims keep crying. It's like, man, it seems like everything just keeps happening to me. Well, you can't keep focused. But that's what I did. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong, Troy. And what was wrong was I myself was trying to drive my life by focusing in the rearview mirror. And there's this big old windshield, right? And so what mentors do is help you to say, okay, glance at that, but no, look at the big old windshield. And so victors are looking at the big windshield. And I always like to say this, obstacles and bad times always create opportunities for those who remain optimistic, right? So watch this. So are you a victim? Are you a victor? If you're a victim, you're always focused on what you went through or what you're going through. If you're a victor, you focus on where you're going to. See, years ago, I was trying to figure out, man, why is it some people talk about a breakthrough, desire a breakthrough, but they don't have it? And it's like the Lord spoke to me. I didn't hear audible voice, but in my spirit. And it's like the reason is because they're focusing on breaking through.
I mean, it's so powerful, Dr. Breakthrough. And, the thing about it is I like the way you use that example, looking out the back window versus looking forward. And I know, you're a pastor too. It's that faith.
Come on. Yes, sir. I'm evangelist, not a pastor.
Pastor evangelist.
Evangelists, we move around. See, evangelists, we blow in, blow up, and blow out.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really because you can't see it. But you got to keep looking ahead, though. But it's a combination of things, right?
Exactly.
You got to have the right people in your life around you that's not going to enable you, like you said, right?
Exactly.
They're going to say,
instead of enabling you, they will empower you.
They empower you.
By the way, that's what I used to help people, and now I stopped helping people. I don't help people anymore. You say, wait a minute, you're a minister of the gospel. I don't help people anymore. Matter of fact, in my home-based business, it started flourishing when I stopped helping people on my team and I started empowering them. What's the difference? Help is like, okay, like for instance, I'll give it to you just real short. So if you're grown and you know how to swim, I'm not talking about if you're a baby, but if you're drowning, I used to try to jump in and save you, but somebody's drowning, like they hit me, almost knocked me out. I almost went down with them. Now I learned to say, I'll throw in a life preserver, grab it, I'll pull you in. If not, I'm going to preach the best eulogy they ever heard. But Troy, that frees you, that makes, you see what I'm saying? And there's so many people getting this industry and they trying to help everybody, and they're enabling all these people. And then what happens, it becomes such a drudgery that it pulls them, drains them dry. I call it VDP in my book, How to Build a Big Team Fast. Very draining people. Then that person ends up hating the industry, getting out, and they're done, my friend, and they don't even understand they themselves, so they're victims. So again, my friend, a victim, again, if you hear somebody who's always focused and talking about what they've gone through, what they're going through, that's a victim. You want to become a victor and talk more about where you're going to. So again, I said, why do people not have a breakthrough? Because they focus too much on what they want to break through. And I'm like, huh? See, a breakthrough means we feel like we should be further ahead. A breakthrough means we're in a place of frustration. Here's the key, Troy. What you think about the longest and what you talk about the longest becomes the strongest. So if a breakthrough means I'm here financially and I feel like I should be there, so I'm frustrated because I'm not there, so what happens? The more I focus on what I want to break through, the bigger it becomes. It's like it's too big now to break through. So here's the secret. Instead of focusing on, get ready. I know this is good because I know what I'm about to say. Instead of focusing on what you want to break through, focus on what you're breaking to. Come on now. See, when I stack up 22 inches of brick, Troy, whenever I try to break the bricks, sometimes one doesn't break. But when I focus on putting my hand 3 inches below the brick, so instead of focusing on breaking through, I focus on breaking 3 inches below. Then they always break. And when I teach people, and I've taught more people how to break a board or brick than any other man alive, and just because I've been doing it longer and with more people. Yeah. But the key is I put my hand sometimes, but if I teach them what to do and they still can't break it, I put my hand underneath and say, forget that board, forget that brick, just hit my hand. And bam, it breaks every time. You know why? Because now they're focusing through. So you got to focus. To get a breakthrough, you got to be focused on what you're breaking to. And victors are always breaking to something. The next goal, the next dream, the next this. And that takes their attention off of the other stuff that people focus on. And that they got the same problems. And like I said, sometimes more, but they're understanding they're going to use that problem as fuel to fuel them. As a matter of fact, I put something on my Facebook the other day. Oh my goodness. I got to tell you, man, I wish somebody else would have posted it so I can tell you how good it is. Okay. But let me, I got a picture of an airplane, and here's what it says.
I saw it.
Okay, small minds are tamed and subdued by misfortune, while great minds rise above them and are at times even fueled by them. Same situation, right? And so listen, see, victors understand the sun is always shining. I may not be able to see it because of cloud, but I know it's there. Come on now. And so you got to determine, again, if some people, the same pain, the same adversity causes some to break down and others to break records, you got to make the decision, I'm going to be a record breaker. Number 2, victims complain and blame while victors create gain. Ooh, let me say it again.
Wow.
I said, victim, you can tell a victim, they're always complaining and they're always blaming, my friend. And again, I understand I was there, right?
Me too.
But what I'm saying though is that doesn't do anything, right? And all you do is you get people that are enablers that'll hang around you and they keep you enabled. You don't even know it, my friend. And it's like you become so weak, you'll never be able to get up. You got a broken leg. It's okay to walk on crutches for a while, but after a while, if you walk on the crutches too long, your leg will never develop the strength again. You got to get rid of the crutch, my friend, and learn to start walking.
Now, I'm gonna share a story real fast before we get into it. I got a friend, real good friend of mine, right? 2012, I think he had got a flu, and they didn't think he was gonna live. And I mean, they was calling people to the hospital to say the goodbyes, right? So they moved him to another hospital. He ended up living, but this guy went from 300 pounds, not fat, power lifter, 6'4", 6'5", went all the way down to like 120 pounds, right? He was in a rehab. He was literally in a rehab, right? And when he was in a rehab, he was around a lot of victims, right? And you know what he did? He said he would never come back there. He had his wife come and get him. He went home. Some of his buddies he was working out with, they all came around him. He started working out and stuff, right? He went back. Right now, he weighed 280 some pounds. He's solid. Muscle again, back build. But he even said if he would have stayed around the victims, because poor me and everybody in the rehab, right, the enablers and the other people around him, he wouldn't have never been able to come back. So that's kind of like what you're talking about. Take it away, Dr.
Yeah, so instead of complaining and blaming, you want to learn to create gain. That same energy it takes to complain. See, it's like me. I used to make excuses, and matter of fact, my excuses were so good. I believed in myself. I was in denial, DENIAL. Don't even notice I am lying. I mean, believing lies is bad, but when you lie to your own self and believing is worse. And one day I said to myself, the same energy it takes to make excuses, I could use this to create momentum and leverage and create success. And so I stopped making excuses and I used the same energy to create success. And then I told everybody in my team, since I don't make excuses, I will no longer take excuses. See, some people, they use it as a safety net. So they want to allow other people to tell them their excuse so that when they have one, they know somebody will listen to them. But I said, no, I cut the bridge. And I'm telling you, my friend, you either make excuses or progress. You can't make both. And I chose to make that change. Number 3, victims succumb while victors overcome. Oh, come on, somebody. I said, see, victims end up succumbing because, see, life is going to do a job on you. Life will beat you up, my friend. Life's going to see you serious. Hello, somebody. And after a while, victims just succumb. They're like, oh, woe was me. Every time I turn around, there's something else they just throw in. But victors say, no, I'm going to overcome, my friend. See, an overcomer doesn't mean they don't have any problems. That just means every problem that comes against them, they overcome it. Come on, somebody. And sometimes they don't know how. Sometimes they don't know exact. They just know, though, they're not going to give up. It's like, I'm going to do this thing, my friend.
That's the most powerful thing, because I was telling somebody something like that yesterday, right?
Yes.
And basically, like when you're a victor, you're not going to be denied.
Come on now.
You are going to become unstoppable. Ain't nothing going to be able to stop you. No situation. You're going to do whatever it takes to get what you want. And you know there's going to be adversities. You know it's going to be hard, but you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. I was telling the person, I know they probably thought I was crazy, right? And everything that I said, this starting to fall in place just like I said it would, because I got that mentality of it is, I'm not a victim. I'm a victor, and I'm a company. You, whoever looking at this, you got the same thing in you.
Exactly.
You do.
And
take it away, Doc.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, and so that's the power of this, by the way, is that we want to help people understand that victims, like I said, they are passive, while victors are progressive and active. So instead of being the victim and succumbing, giving in, you want to be a victor that overcomes. I like what Calvin Coolidge said: nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination are almost omnipotent. See, that man or woman that won't be whipped can't be whipped. Come on now. They just keep getting back up. And the Bible says a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up. Like every time you knock it, just keeps getting back up. But a victim falls down and stays down. I like what Zig said. Nobody ever drowns from falling in the water. You drown from staying down underneath the water. Come on.
That's a good one.
So watch this now. So again, victims are passive, right? And they're just waiting around, sitting around. But no. Victors are proactive, my friend. They're progressive and they're proactive. And so I got a whole talk called Attack or Be Invaded. Okay, I have to come back and do that sometime. But it's a martial arts principle. So when you could sense, your body will let you know when you're in danger. And of course, as a trained fighter, I never forget 5 guys. And I knew my body gave me a signal something was about to happen, right? And so these guys said, hey, we're going to get you. I was like, hey, I'm a minister of the gospel. They said, we don't care. I said, well, I am not just a minister. I'm a master in martial arts. They're like, yeah, right. Everybody supposedly knows this karate stuff. Well, I felt like they didn't believe me, so I felt like they wanted a free demonstration.
How did that work out for them?
So in about 3.5 minutes, all 5 of them was laying on the ground, my friend. And it's crazy. I know you don't believe it, but it happened to me. And I took my Bible and told three of them actually received the Lord as their Savior and came to church with me on my church bus the next day. So Paul said, to the weak became I was weak, that I might gain the weak. I made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. But here's what I'm saying, though. But when I realized it was a situation, and by the way, the first one I went after was the one I saw that didn't have, it wasn't the strongest looking one. It was the one that had a little fear in their eyes, right? So you got to attack. If you don't attack, you will be invaded, my friend. And if you don't attack by being progressive, you're going to be invaded. And so victims always are being invaded, while, get this now, victors are learning to attack. They attack their day. They got it planned out. They got to strategize. And so real quick, but I got to move on. So victims only see what's near. Get this now. Victims only see what's near, but victors see afar. See, victims are very near, so they only see what's happening now, but victors are far off. See, again, they got something they're breaking too. See, Joseph, his brothers did him wrong, literally sold him as a slave, was going to kill him, put him in the pit. He got sold. And so years later, now all of a sudden, he's the second in command. He's the prime minister. He's disguised. His brothers don't recognize who it is. And finally, he tells them, they're like, oh no, they're scared now. And he says, listen, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Ooh. See, if Joseph would have just saw what they did to him and thought about if he is nearsighted, he'd been right. I'm getting you back now. No. He said, I understood something. You guys thought you meant it for evil, but see, God had another plan, and he used this to get me down Egypt here so I could then be second in command. See, the greatest book ever written says all, A-L-L. Troy, how many things does all mean?
Oh,
all things. Now watch this. Here's the key. Work together, not individually. All things work together for good to them that love God. So, and by the way, sometimes you won't see the good in it until until you have the right perspective. And that's why every day I say everything good that can happen will happen, and it will happen at the best possible time. And over I say everything good that can happen will happen. It will happen. It's Dr. Breakthrough's law. Why? I got tired of living by Murphy's law. Everything bad that can happen will happen. It'll happen at the worst possible time. And it happened all the time. And so I flipped it and said everything good that can happen will happen. It will happen at the best possible time. Well, guess what? You say, does everything good happen? No, but when bad, quote unquote bad happens, I have the right perspective to see how it can come out for good. Hello, somebody. Oh, this is good. So what I'm saying is this: you got to understand their power. Listen, victims versus being a victor. So let me give this to you real quick. Victims are unaware and give up their power. Ooh, let me say it again. Wow. Victims are unaware and give up their power, while victors harness and accentuate their power. Oh, wow. Man, they ain't hearing me up in here. Come on, give me some hearts, give me some likes, give me some emojis, some hearts, some fire, some my friend. Do you get this, my friend? See, here's one of the ways we do this. Like I used to do this way back in the day, and it's a little easier for women sometimes. But here, like somebody do something like, man, you just ruined my day. Right? You just ruined it for me. Man, see, write this down. Victims don't understand what victors understand. See, victims get this mixed up. Victims give, get this now, determining factor power to things or people that are nothing more than contributing factors. Wow. Victors understand that everything and everybody is nothing but a contributing factor. And me, this guy right here, I'm the only determining factor. You say, well, I thought you're a minister. What about God? No, it's not even him. I'm the determining factor. You say, are you serious? Yeah. When God made Adam, he gave Adam a free will. That's the most powerful thing. I believe God, the most powerful out of all. But guess what? Adam used the power that God gave him to choose against God, and God didn't do a thing. You know why? Because look, that's your choice. Now, y'all better understand something. If God himself gave the man, Adam, a power to choose even against him, that means nobody can make you. Now, contributing factors make it a whole lot easier for you to give in. But see, what happens is victims keep thinking, I just don't have any power. And then they talk in such a way they're giving up their power all the time. Well, he made me this, and he made me this, and you make me feel sick. And you make no, stop. Don't talk like that. Nobody can take my power from me. I have to be the one to give in. Yeah, you might make it hard and you may put the squeeze on, my friend, but I tell you what, guess what, my friend? But it's up to me. And so when I start realizing that, man, I don't give my power away talking about you ruined my day. You ain't ruined nothing. You might try to ruin my day. I'm the one that determines if I have a good day or not. And I say I'm gonna have a good, matter of fact, on Facebook, you know what, Troy, people are so nice, they mean so well. They be like, oh, Doc, I hope you have a good day. I was like, hope I have a good day. No, you don't understand. I'm gonna make it a good day on purpose, because I'm on a divine assignment. Ooh, let me say it again. I'm going to make it a great day on purpose. I realize I have that power, my friend. I can decide. See? And so get this, my friend. Get this. You've got to learn to harness your power. You got to learn to accentuate your power. And the people you look up to, my friend, they're simply, listen, they've been through just about what you're going through and probably a whole lot more, except they learned how to switch from being victims past being victimizers to being victors. And you, my friend, have that same power within. It's time to wake up, my friend. It's time to bring it out. And then victims, Troy, can I get a little rough here? Can I get a little rough?
Take it away.
Victims attend pity parties while victors attend power parties. See, that pity party, oh, woe is me. This always happens to me. I'm never going to get this thing around. Woe is me. But see, no. Victors attend power parties, personal development, personal growth, right? See, somebody said it. No, it was me that said it, actually. I was going to say this great man once said, but actually it was me. Anyway, my son did that. He said, as a great man once said, he gave his own quote. And I was like, I like that, man. Chip off the old block. But anyway, so watch this, my friend. So all of us, get this now, are looking to connect with someone who can empower us to be to do and to have what we secretly know we can become and achieve. Now, we already have it all. They just had to help us to wake up to it, my friend, right? Like somebody early this morning said, oh my goodness, your 21-day breakthrough challenge changed my life. I said, well, actually, you changed your life. You just leveraged what my training, you took action. So we just worked together. We collaborated, right? And so here's what I say, because they used to say, B.F. Skinner, I think it was, said, you're a product of your environment. And I was like, well, technically, no. You're either you're a product of the environment of your mind. You might want to say it that way, but you're a product of your environment of your mind, or you're a product of your empowerment, or product of your disempowerment. Ooh. So when you hang around the wrong crowd and you hang around these people that are disempowering you, sometimes they enable you, that's disempowerment. Sometimes they get down, you no good, low down this. And all this stuff is like Les Brown says, don't allow other people's negative opinion to become your own reality, right? Yeah. So guess what? So I said this. I said, Les, that's pretty good, but I got one better. Les said, what you got, Doc? I said, how about this? Only allow God's opinion to become your reality. And God says I'm an overcomer. God says I'm more than a champion. So when the times I don't feel like that, I got to put aside what I feel and start claiming what he said. And so again, my friend, so victims are unaware and they give up their power constantly and consistently. Victors, on the other hand, harness their power. So victims attend the pity party while victors attend the power party, personal development, personal growth. And that's why, again, Troy, getting around other people that will help you to see and say, listen, I know things are rough, but what are you grateful for right now? Right? Give me 3 things. Matter of fact, go ahead, Troy. Give me 3 things you're grateful for.
Man, I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful that God woke me up today. I'm grateful for when I look outside, man, how beautiful it is. I'm grateful even for the snow and the ice. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for moments of gratitude. I'm grateful for my kids. I mean, it's a whole lot of things. Like you said 3, but I'm so grateful for a whole bunch. And that's what you gotta.
But victims, when you ask them, when you ask them, they can barely think of one.
And you hitting it right on the thing, Dr. Breakthrough, because you got to count what you're grateful for. Even that's gonna get you out of being a victim.
Exactly. Take it away. As a matter of fact, let me go a step further, and we got to get ready to stop. But victims are their own worst enemy, while victors are one of their own best friends. see, victims. I remember one time TD Jakes came out and said the enemy that's in me, right? The enemy that's in me. So what happens is, again, most people, their self-talk, 98% of self-talk they say is negative. That means you're your own. See, for many years, I was my own worst enemy. But then when I found out I have the power to choose, I said, let me choose to become one of my best friends. You know, a best friend is somebody, my friend, that's always encouraging you. A best friend is somebody that's there in your corner. So I started learning to encourage myself. I started learning to say powerful things about myself. Right? I mean, man, in my mirror, I got different things that I say to encourage myself. Hey, you're Dr. Stan, you're a masterpiece. You know why? Because you're a piece of the master. You know why? Because you are a product of the master. You know why? Because you are, my friend, the priority of the master, man. I'm saying, listen, I like to, you're an overcomer. You know what? You're more than a conqueror. You're the head, not the tail. You're above. Listen, you got to learn to encourage yourself. And so the only difference between a victim and a victor is victims are their worst friends, while victors are their best friend, their own best friend. And my friend, you can do it today. So real quick, in a nutshell, it's all based on one thing, and that's focus on responsibility. Write the word responsibility. Here's what it means. Respond with ability. Let me say it again. Respond with ability. And you got the victors and the victims have the same abilities, except one is exercising it when the other is like, it's too hard. I tried that once. I know. That's why, listen, I applaud you if you're on this live, or if you're watching it in Facebook or YouTube. You know why? Because this is the kind of stuff that we need to keep feeding ourselves, to feed the victor that's in us, instead of having this stuff that just pours into the victim around us, my friend. And so listen, you got to refuse. You got to refuse. You got to refuse. You got to say, you got to have a Popeye moment. I've taken all I stands all I can stands, and I can't stands no more. No more victim, my friend. I'm working on being a victor. I'm going to let the victor come out. First John 4:4, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And several times that Les and I was speaking, he would always say, there's greatness in you. And I think, yeah, it's nice motivational talk, but that ain't real. And I'm reading, I'm like, wait a minute, it's right there in the Bible. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. There is greatness. So we just got to stir that greatness up. We got to pull that greatness out. Listen, I'm talking to somebody now. You're in victim mode right now. but you're about to switch and go from victim mode to victor mode. Come on, somebody. You're going to break through from being a victim to a victor. And that's why I put together my 21-day breakthrough challenge, my friend, where I took 45 years of my best teaching, my best thought process, the thing that took me from being a mess to a master, took me from being a victim to a victor. And right now, Troy, I got about 7 of them left where a guy subsidized the price. Now, by the way, the price is only $297. We're talking about the most powerful training I have where you're guaranteed to get at least one or more breakthroughs in 21 days or less. A lady started yesterday as her first day. She got a breakthrough on her first day. She said the first day, if I never got anything else, I said, oh no, you're going to get a whole lot more. But here's the deal. It's normally only $297. My business coach said, Doc, you're a 10th degree black belt. You've been voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. You've been voted to the Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame. You've been paid as much as $47,000 to speak 1 hour. Don't lower it like that. He said it should be at least 10 times the price. Now, one guy, he said, Doc, well, listen, he had me speaking for his team, and I speak for about 40 different companies speaking. Sometimes it's not the whole company, it's just a team leader. And so this guy subsidized. He said, I want to make it where before you raise the price. So he literally paid $255 for a certain amount of spots, and we got about 7 left, okay? So I'm going to tell you, if you want to take advantage of that, and here's how you can do it. And again, if you're sick and tired of being a victim, by the way, victims always talk about, well, I can't afford it. Victors are like, no, I can't afford not to get something like this going to change my life. And so if you just go to theinternetmentor.com, internetmentor.com. Now, real quick, you got to follow these instructions. Theinternetmentor.com, click on 21-day breakthrough challenge. You'll see it'll say only $297.97. Click on coupon code, put in Diamond VIP, all small, Diamond VIP, and it's going to knock off $255. Bam, like that. So you only going to pay $42. And where this guy and I came up with this, and he was willing to subsidize it, is number one, this is 2022. Take 20, add 22, that's 42. Right. Wow. And for 2022, they take my 21-day challenge, pay just $2 a day. 21 days, 2 times 21 is 42. Watch this. You're going to get 21 3 to 5 minute, the most powerful 3 to 5 minute videos. A lady the other day said, my goodness, you say more in 3 to 5 minutes than most people say in a whole hour. I said, yeah. She said, you cut off all the fluff and it's just. So there's about 7 of you could take advantage of it. Now, when those go, it won't take that coupon code. So, and if you hear me speak, you're going to end up, if you get it, you're going to pay $297 or if not more, because but I'm saying, if you see this now, and this is not for everybody, for those who say, you know what, there's something about the way I like the way he talks. Something stirred up on the inside of me. I'm ready to invest in myself. I'm ready to go break through from being a victim to a victor. So go to theinternetmentor.com. Click on 21-day breakthrough challenge. You're going to fill out your free account. Coupon code, and then Diamond VIP. Instantly, it's going to take off $255. And my friend, I'd love to work with you if that's something that you like. And so again, it's only 7 people that'll be able to take advantage. After that, and how do you know if you made it or not? If you put in that coupon code that says invalid, that means those 7 are gone. So somebody else paid the $255 for it to be subsidized so you can get that crazy break. I never give anything out like that, my friend. But the guy did it, and all of his people didn't take advantage. So I said, listen, do you mind if I just, next time I speak, share this? He says, man, go ahead. I don't know why they didn't move, because he paid for a certain amount, and there's 7 left. So, all righty, Troy.
Wow, I mean, that's a great deal right there. The greatest investment you can ever make is within yourself.
Wait a minute. Warren Buffett, remember him? They said, Warren, in these hard economic times, what's the best investment? So they were ready. And he said, invest in your own self.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's truly the truth. That's how you become from a victim to a victor.
Come on now.
You got to invest in yourself.
Hey, when I first met you, man, you bought all my books. You're like, but man, I'm buying this book and that book and this book. You know what I mean?
But Dr. Breakthrough, I buy books constantly. And I've been like on a real serious run building my business. Now I'm listening to audio books. I got my iPad right here.
Okay. There's a bookcase. By the way, y'all can see a few little trophies there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another bookcase over there. There's some more in the other room. Yes. See, watch this now. Leaders, every leader is a reader. Now, not every reader is a leader, but every leader is a reader. And my acronym for READ, R-E-D, receive empowerment, authority, dominion. Oh, receive empowerment, authority, dominion. Now listen carefully. The man or woman who does not read is worse than the man or woman who cannot read. Why? Because you've got something, an ability that you're not taking advantage of. But I went far beyond that, my friend. You don't even have to read this. It's a video. You just watch it, my friend. 3 to 5 minutes. Everybody's as busy as you are. You got 3 to 5 minutes, my friend. And it's powerful, compact. And by the way, as long as the website is there, you're going to be able to come back. I've had some people that's going through, 8 times. In other words, every month they come back on the first and they start again, And so anyway, again, one more time, theinternetmentor.com, theinternetmentor.com. Click on 21-day breakthrough challenge, coupon code, put in Diamond VIP, all small, Diamond VIP, and you're going to see instantly $255 / That's my gift to you, my friend, and you're going to only pay $42 for one of my best trainings that my friend took me from being a victim to a victor.
That's great. Hey, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out for this Breakthrough Friday. I usually come Monday through Friday, but I will be back over here tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. I got a rock star. She's actually going to come over here and share her entrepreneur story. You most definitely want to follow Dr. Breakthrough. You saw the power that he put in, but also you want to take advantage of that offer. I actually started going through that. It's powerful. So you most definitely want to grab that. For $42?
Only $42. And by the way, there's a few trainings that's free, right? So if they just go to theinternetmentor.com, they click on, like I've got one called The Art of Selling Without Selling and How to Sell Without Being a Sellout. And it's not about always selling things, it's selling concepts. See, victims sell themselves on they can't. Victors sell themselves on they can.
Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful. And with that, you know what? God bless, and you guys have an amazing weekend.